Happy Friday, traders. Thanks for joining me. It is the 29th of October, 2021. It's 8:01 a.m. Chicago time, coming at you from the Chicago Board of Trade, where my office is. This is episode number 2105. Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Let's take a look at what's going on. The market today coming in has a mixed posture to slightly or mild risk off, very mild risk off, mainly weighed down by techs. The NQ is lower this morning as it basically deals with the the earnings the earnings and forecasts released by the giants, Amazon and Apple, yesterday after the close. We had rallied into the close until the release, and the NQ really came off. So Amazon and Apple cited two different issues, two main issues. Apple being the persistent supply chain issues, meaning the chip issue, mainly. Also manufacturing, just getting things built. And Amazon complained about the tight labor market and logistics. And then in addition to that, the Eurozone had inflation this morning. These issues that are persisting may lead to higher prices eventually. They already are, and they may lead to persistent higher prices. So that's what the market's paying attention to. As far as key earnings, we had Exxon, Chevron, and AbbVie this morning. Nothing major expected after the close. As you can see, the NASDAQ is the laggard this morning, down 91 basis points currently. It has actually come off its lows. It's dragging the S&P down with it. The S&P is down 57 basis points. The Dow, which is a price-weighted index, is really completely imbalanced in the overnight session. Yes, it's off, but it's not off by very much. You can see to the right the Dow rotation, on a 1-minute basis. Over 20 sessions in the RTH is 50 points, and we're down 76 points. So this is just a rotation and a half in the Dow. The Russell, same thing, really sideways, has not given up too much territory since yesterday's close, down only about one rotation. You can see again in the gray box on the right, one RTY rotation is 4.9 points. That's 49 ticks, pretty wide. And it's only down 5.6 points, so just over a single rotation. So just that, I'm telling you that just to put it in perspective. Crude again has pushed higher. Yesterday was recovering a little bit after coming down into 80.50, coming into the $80 handle, if you recall. On Tuesday morning, I said that crude is very likely to pull back to 80 for a retest before it decides what to do next. It did. It pulled back to 80 yesterday, went up to 83, consolidated at 83 all morning, and has come off this morning and is pulling back towards 81.50. So that's the big picture. The S&P is currently balanced. It has a weak low. The S&P has a weak low this morning. We basically have come back and missed yesterday's low, RTH low, by a tick. Yesterday we opened at 59.75. We went to 59 even, and then we rallied from there. We'll talk about that in a minute, but the overnight low is at 59.25. So we are all the way back to where we opened yesterday. and the inventory is 100% short. Again, being weighed down by Amazon and Apple, and it's immediately sold off. So the entire overnight inventory is below settle, which is classified as 100% short. The range is 20.5 points, which is pretty decent. Expecting okay movement this morning. The market is in a state of flux here, so I'm expecting that to carry over. Looking at what was expected yesterday, real quick. Wow, I didn't pause this video at a good spot. Um, Jeez. Yesterday, the primary scenario and one that cost me two stops was the expectation that the market is likely to push up on the open and fail to continue through the overnight high. And then the expectation is it would likely rotate down to 43 and take out the week low and start making a run for the 25. This was completely wrong. The ES yesterday had what looked like an open rejection reverse type opening. And so essentially what it did is it did this portion right here, right off the open. So pushed straight up, and proceeded to squeeze into the overnight high. And then, as I said, if it clears the 70 right here, if it clears the 70, it's very much going to take out the 78, and it's likely to target the 90 either yesterday or today. So the market, if it does not sell off, it is really geared towards selling off yesterday. And if it does not sell off, then it's likely to take out the all-time high, and that's basically what we did. So we had scenario 2. Unfortunately, the buying, here's the catch. The buying in the morning set up some nice shorts. It struggled on the order flow before, as soon as it made that first push, and I'll show you what actually happened right here. So this is the setup for the short. The setup for the short is not to short this or this or this. That's just, don't mean to criticize anybody's trading plan, but there's nothing there to short, right? There's nothing here to short. There is nothing here to short. What is there to short is we expanded up. We had a push up. The delta was relatively weak. You can see it's completely sideways. And then we had an expansion down. The short is right here. The short's right here. Looking for a rotation down. The short yielded about 2 points of favorable excursion, and then it took off. And then what I saw was a consolidation against yesterday's big bounce zone consolidation, and then yet another expansion on the sell side. So the short is in here looking for a pullback continuation and then a ride down into that 43 handle. So the short is not shorting the move. I'm not looking to short the big move up. That's, to me, that's just like the old, catching a falling knife and blah, 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 fading a climbing market. The short is when it actually shows that it is making headway in, the sellers are making headway in selling. Then I'm looking for the pullback for the continuation trade. I rarely catch the breakout trade, although that happened into the close yesterday. Rarely catch the breakout trade. I'm looking for the continuation trade. The continuation trade has a better rate of return as far as I'm concerned. Past performance, not indicative of future results. But here it is again. It just had a big rotation down, and it just, boom, breaks out to the top side and continues. So again, I took those stops. I'm following the plan. It just didn't work out. It's just the way that it is. And then on the close, so there was nothing in here for me, but on the close, there was a break higher and a small pullback right here, a small pullback looking for a push to this double TPO high. You see those two highs, 84.75, 84.75, looking for a break higher as it holds above VWAP and everything else, looking for it to push through, and it actually managed to get it done. And we ended up actually stopping. We don't see it here, but right after the cash close, we ended up pushing to 89.75, 89.75, just one tick short of the 90 before the Amazon release, which immediately sold us off. So there it is. This is the high. You can see it right there, 89.75, and then it immediately fell right back in. The trade was done, and then from there, it's just been southward. Note the week lows in the overnight session. Note that we are below VWAP at mid, below the overnight point of control. We're opening somewhat weak this morning, and just note that. We're opening weak with a weak low, so the expectation is there's a high probability of a break of the overnight low at 59.25, which takes out the 59 low from yesterday, and we still have the 43-week low below. So we stopped short by one tick from the all-time high. That in itself shows that there's somewhat of a double top. We're going to keep an eye on that double top. It's probably not going to last. But for now, we're looking to the short side given the way the market posture is. Okay. I want to take a moment to remind you all for the last time, since this fundraiser ends this Sunday, this is your last chance to contribute a tick, one tick, if not a point. If you're generous, you donate a point. In fact, one person donated $500 to this following the last time I talked about it. $500 were contributed again. I'm not a tax accountant, but talk to your accountant. But this should be tax deductible. You're not getting anything for this contribution. This is going straight into a charity. If you're looking to donate at some point this year, this would be a good time to do it. Look, donate a tick on the micros, $1.25 in the S&P micros. Donate a point in the micros, $5. Donate a tick in the minis, $12.50. Donate 2 ticks for $25, or donate a point in the minis for $50. That's it. Just imagine a point. We lose a point every day at some point. Give it to a child with cancer and help them get the support and get their family supported for their treatment. Hopefully you can sympathize with that and open up your wallet and give to this charity. Remember, we started with a $2,500 goal. We hit it in a day, and then we extended it just this week to $5,000, and we got the $5,000 that afternoon. And so here we are at $6,000, and we want to see how generous viewers are. We'd love to have you contribute to this. Let's get right into the business of looking at today so we can move on and go trade. Setting up the chart. I want to set it up so that you can see the recent action as well, because we want to reference it. Master levels, stock zones on, and here we are. Oop, hang on. Here we are. So I'm leaving a lot of space on the right. Maybe that's too much space. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Looking for, it's 100%, the inventory is 100% short. Those who are short and come in and see where the market is are likely to cover some portion of their position. I'm expecting a response back up into the 66 to 68 area, looking for this area to act as initial resistance. So let's call it 68.70. Wow, I'm writing tiny today. 68 to 70 here, expecting a response back to 68.70. Looking for that to fail, looking for this thing to push lower and to really make a beeline for this 43. The 43 was expected yesterday, and yesterday had a lot of strength. So we're looking for it to push to 43, give us a bit of a bounce, and then come back in and then potentially settle in the same spot it did last week, the 36 down here, 36. I'm not expecting this thing to run to the 25. It'd be nice if it did, but we're likely to get a bounce into the close. This was a rally week. We might see the books bouncing a little bit into the close. So don't be surprised. Even if we rally into the day, don't be surprised that it might turn over and become a seller later in the session. The secondary scenario is it opens, pushes the low, starts to move lower into this 45.50, which is the next key area down, 45.50, and then it takes a bid and it starts to squeeze like we saw yesterday, back up to the 76, back up to the 80. The 80 has been in play a lot. The overnight session had a high of 79.75. The 80 is actually becoming a composite high volume node. So I'm looking for this 80 to be tested from below, and then expecting this to peter out. Not likely to get an all-time high today, but look, this is a plan, this is a map, that's all. So 90 up here, and then the next level up is 97, 97, and then the double O up here. These levels are all potentially in play. All the gray levels are potentially in play. These are stock zone levels. I missed the 84 right here. So these are the levels that are likely to be in play. I'm expecting us to respond upwards. I'm looking for the mid VWAP and that stock zone at 70 to act as initial resistance. Remember, I talked about the 70 yesterday. We paused up there and we fought it, and then we had a big drop. Remember, with the short position, and then it pushed right through the 70. The 70s expected to act the same way. We're basically opening where we opened yesterday. We're back in the same spot yet again. Okay, I leave you with that again. Ooh, look at us. We're already over $6,100, you guys. This is fantastic. I'm looking forward to making a contribution to this and closing this out. This has been a fantastic birth month for me. We raised $6,000. Hopefully you continue to contribute. It's a gift from all of you and me to help save some children and offer them some comfort as they struggle with just a nasty, nasty disease, cancer. So thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully you'll contribute. If you have not, remember, anything from a point on the micros to a point on the minis will do. Not asking for $1,000 here, although throw it in there if you have it. Just contribute something. This will be the last time you hear about this since it's closing on Sunday. You won't have to hear me trying to raise money for kids again. Good luck.